Delighted to say that we've got Meath legend, former Dual player Jenny Rispin with us as well. Jenny, how are you getting on this morning?
Morning, folks. All good, thank you.
Give me a reason then. You can play devil's advocate for us here. Why Meath should be worried about Kerry this coming Sunday?
Yeah, look, first of all, I think everyone seems to be back in Meath at the moment, so Kerry would only be delighted with that. But yeah, look, Kerry have got where they are. It's great to see again a new team coming into the All-Ireland final again. You know, it's only healthy for the game, and it's only fantastic and creating a great buzz again within the LGFA championships. Yeah, so Ashton covered a lot of the reasons there why Meath would possibly win, and Kerry have reasons to be optimistic as well. But so the well-hardened, well-battled team. So these teams, they're getting familiar with each other. I know last year's league campaign, I think Kerry beat Meath in the round game. And obviously then, Meath overturned them in the final in a completely different game, and it was probably a game where Meath really announced themselves as a force to be reckoned with. But so Kerry, they haven't gone away; they've continued to build. So I think they have the ability within their team to cause Meath serious problems this weekend. And I'd probably look, you're looking at you're talking about the goal getters at one end, but I would actually say probably further out the field, they have players that really kind of attack Meath from deep and from wide areas. You look at that even the last day, who was getting the scores from their half back line in particular. And looking at Meath this year, it's probably from those areas that have caused them the most trouble. And I would say even the last day, those late runs, bursting runs through the defence, those gaps there to be found in that Meath defence when you move the ball quick enough. And even against Galway, they were trying to find space in the back door as well. So look, plenty of reasons for Kerry to be optimistic as well. I think it can only create a great atmosphere, a great game, and a great prospect, I think.
Yeah, because when you look at the style of the two teams, they both like to be defensively solid at the start, but they're both really good on the break, which was really clear in the two semi-finals. So we could well have a very good attack and counter-attack affair on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so that is the key. It's on the counter-attack. Which defence can organise itself quickly enough? And Meath are probably used to that. So there's a lot thrown at them the last couple of years, and they've shown the answers. But yeah, I think it will be if Kerry can catch Meath on the break quick enough, because Meath they will attack in droves, they will attack in numbers, but they obviously come back in just as many numbers as well. So if Kerry can attack them quick enough, and they will, so they've great speed there, and Niamh Carmody especially on the half forward line, showing real industrial kind of vision going forward. And making things happen. So it's not the usual suspects. Like we talk about Louise Murray and how deadly she is, and she will be. But I'd say it'll be further out the field where Kerry will find joy. And as I say, it's that counter-attacking style. Meath will, so they will hold it tight. Probably for the start of the game, they tend to. I don't know. They always like to have us on the edge of the seat and a half-time questioning, God, what is this going to be the day? And this, 10-15 minute spell after half-time, they just seem to turn it on. Push up on the kickouts and really kind of put, any team that's against them, put their backs to the wall, and that's really where they seem to win every game.
Yeah, it's going to be a change for Meath with players going to Australia for next year, and unfortunately for those who are losing players to Australia now, it's a bigger impact than it was previously because of the length of the AFLW season. But I just think it's remarkable how Meath have come up the ranks, because I remember watching them in Division 3 of the Ladies National Football League not that long ago. And here they are now, having used the league in many ways going into Division 2 as a platform for championship, and then working their way through the intermediate and becoming the best senior team in the country. It wasn't an overnight story, it was very gradual. But what a 5 or 6 years, Jenny, now as a Meath supporter, this team have given you.
Yeah, it has. It has been incredible. You don't want to take any bit of it for granted. Anyone that remembers, gone back years, and look, there's been good days before that as well, but nothing compared to now. But if you're there, if you're a supporter during those times, you will want to lap these days up, because yeah, absolutely anything can happen. Things can turn around and things can change. You just want to enjoy every bit of it. Look, I have to credit, the management team that have come in, taken things by the horns, and driven this Meath team on to show the potential that has been there. So that there's been plenty of promise in the past. I know it's been spoken about, but it just shows the importance that look, we see the skill level raising in the game now, which is so important. Girls are starting a lot younger, there's a lot more time coaching put into it, and now we can see the tactical side of it really kind of taking hold as well. So it's a team kind of that have a really grasp on the tactical side of it that are proven successful. So it's wonderful to be, you know, to watch it happen, to be part of it. They certainly haven't made it easy or, you know, easy on the heart, but it's going back. I don't know if it's a turning point or it has been gradual. Like, it was a couple of years there in Division 3. You know, you can see they were just trying to build a process. And I look at Wexford even playing in the intermediate final. There was, I know, a few years ago, Meath lost to Wexford, I think, in the Leinster Championship. And you know, there was a lot of stumbling blocks on the way for Meath. They had to kind of go back and readdress things. And even last year, the league coming up to Division 2, you know, losing to Kerry, but you know, so just whatever clicked last year, they got it right. You know, what they've been working on. I sit here today, actually, only a few yards from Dungani pitch, and there's plenty of hours put in there, where, you know, it's really kind of brought us to this point.
And Jenny, you're being very modest, because there was plenty of hours put in by you too. Bringing it back to, say, 2015, you were a player manager that year. You stepped in. Obviously, prior to that, you're playing for Meath of 14, 15 years, and I think it was 2016 was your last year. But stepping in 2015 when things were not in the best state in Meath football, can you bring us back there?
I'm trying to forget about it, actually. For me that year it was tough. I kind of struggled to get back fitness with a couple of injuries, and just the way the year panned out, I kind of had to take a bit of a break to kind of get myself fit again. And I got a phone call from the county board to see, look, what I see it out to the end of the year. You know, things happening, going well. There's a lot of players coming and going, and you know, look, every team goes through a transition, and that can happen. But yeah, look, I can never say no too easily when Meath come knocking. So look, things couldn't have gone probably any worse for us at that time when I did step in. You know, I think even it was actually this time of the year, it was the bank holiday weekend actually, that we were drawn to play Cork of all teams. I went down to watch Kerry. It could have been Kerry or Cork, and Cork actually lost that game. They lost to Kerry that year in the Munster Championship. And so, you know, you're talking about a team kind of wounded, coming back to bite us. And, you know, a lot of people have been spoken about that game against Cork. And, you know, it's days like those that build resilience, I believe, in players. You know, a lot of the current crop were playing that time, and, you know, it can't have been easy for them. A lot of them were young players, and it would have been hard, but they responded absolutely fantastic. And, you know, so they always believed that there was something there with the Meath. I remember having conversations with, you know, or, you know, even on the pitch after a couple of the games, and, you know, there was, you know, Vicky Wall was only a young player, even Cleary, but, you know, they truly believed themselves that, look, you know, we can get this together, and you know, we're not that far away if we can organise ourselves and if we put in the effort. So, you know, that's what it's really stemmed from. And tough days like that, you know, it's just as important as winning.
Not to take away from the occasion of the final at all, but just something that we've been debating over the last week or so in the office, particularly after the Camogie semi-finals from last weekend, where there was 3,500 at the two senior games. In a way, have the Camogie Association and the LGFA maybe missed a trick here, Jenny, when you consider that the inter-county men's season is now done and dusted for this year, and August is almost like a fallow month for Croke Park, that maybe the Camogie Association and the ladies' football might be better off starting a few weeks later and actually having the full profile of the month of August available for their knockout games?
Yeah, possibly. Look, I can see a point in that you know, there's been a lot of talk, and even this week in Meath as well, with a new manager, and you know, that there's a lot of talking on around different things, and you know, yeah, you kind of forget, you know, there's an All-Ireland final coming up in a few weeks. Look, I'll put it on the other foot though. You know, from the club point of view, where that fits in terms of the whole schedule. So, you know, so it's quite difficult. Like, as a club, we haven't had our county players so far this year. And, you know, if you were to push on and get a bit further, yeah, okay, maybe a few more weeks mightn't do it any harm. But, you know, there's also an eagerness to get back to club championship and have that started. But, yeah, look, anything that can grow the game, Look, all we want is, in the ladies football is to be taken seriously and to get that profile up, and to have people caring and looking out for it. But so look, there's always going to be something else in the calendar, you find. But maybe maybe going forward that they could look at it in a few weeks, tightening up the schedule and having your big showpiece games, stand alone, and being even the main centre of attention of the media.
And give us a prediction, Meath or Kerry, who's going to win on Sunday?
Meath, of course. I said at the start of the year, I can't see this Meath team being beaten. Whatever's been thrown at them, and the beautiful thing is, that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, so you'll have sin bins, which could play a part again on Sunday. Things happen in a game, players get injured, but they've just been rock solid the whole way through. They're not going to concede a whole lot. Kerry, might rely on their goals the last few games. Meath they've conceded maybe one or two the whole championship. They haven't been out-goaled, I think, in any team apart from the last game. It's just hard to see a team outscore them at this stage, and I say if those players that just step up in those, it's all just been a game or a season of moments for Meath. The last couple of years, it's just like if you can hold strong for as long as possible, this Meath team have been doing it. But to have the players to just step up and make things happen, just in an instant, and they can really suck the life out of other teams. And look, I don't see Sunday being any different. It's not to say that Kerry, will come up and put in a great fight, but I can't see Meath being beaten.
Jenny, enjoy the game on Sunday. Thanks a million for joining us on OTB AM.
Thank you very much.